Next up, we're going to hear from Europe's latest biomanufacturing scale-up. The company UPM are building a plant in Leuna, Germany. And to tell you all about it, we have Dominik Müller, who's the Senior Manager, Sustainability and Market Development at UPM.
Well, I should stay with the micro, sorry. In general, we've presented quite a lot already about Leuna in all sorts of events and so on and so forth. So we decided today for sure telling a bit about Leuna, but going beyond that, since this shouldn't be the end of it. And that's why we're also very much now into switching or lifting from the capability which we can prove with what we have there to really to scale and how to get there. And prepared a couple of slides on that. I believe Europe is currently at the so-called 3-point moment from capability to scale. What's that in a way? So since forever, 3 points have been part of the basketball game, but not many have really used that in the past. It was just there and so on and so forth. Around a decade ago, one team said, we want to do that differently. We have the capability. We go for 3-pointers all the time, and they changed the game significantly. And this is the 3-point moment we have now for the European industry, for the European value chains. And this is where we need to go. It's really about scaling, and this is where the 3-pointers came in, and I tried to go through that with my presentation now a bit. So we already have what we need. The real question is, why aren't we scaling it? So we have the shot, we have the technology. UPM is proving it in Leuna. Arantium is proving it, Fibronol is proving it. There are other companies really showing that the technology is there, and I believe in plenty of presentations we had over those 2 days, there have been discussions, yes, we are doing this and so on and so forth, but the question was always about scalability in a way. We have the feedstock. Is it enough to really scale in Europe? Most probably not, but the question on the other hand side is there enough fossil feedstock in Europe, or is there more or less any fossil feedstock in Europe? Not really. So we are sourcing that also from a global scale in a way. So feedstock is there. Industrial assets, this is a picture from lovely Leuna plant on the right-hand side. We have the industrial assets. So this is all there. The capability is proven. The shot is there. So why aren't we scaling it? Well, it's as always, industry doesn't scale what is not rewarded. So what we need, like in sports, we need incentives. Those matters, like the team which took most 3-pointers and changed the game significantly. It's also about industry. So what we need to do now, we need to really work on the signals to really strengthen that. So it's about coherent policies. It's about markets which should pull much more, which need to have the incentives to really pull. And it's not about the technology gap, it's really about the system gap we have. So in that sense, it's not about speculating. We can already see that it works. It's just about scaling it really significantly. And this is that it works, we show with our solutions, with our plants. We have, since 2015, a biorefinery in Lappeenranta, Finland, where we produce advanced biofuels and biochemicals and naphtha for the chemical industry in a way. And we are currently investing in Leuna, close to Leipzig and Berlin, 1.3 billion, which is the biggest, I believe, the biggest European bioeconomy investment nowadays, to produce 220 kilotons of biochemicals, of renewable chemicals, which feed into the textiles industry, the packaging industry, the automotive industry, and so on and so forth. So in general, we have it, we can prove it, we can show that it works, and it works in Europe. We show that we have a value chain in Europe with that. We are sourcing our feedstock from Europe. We are working with that in Europe. We are putting jobs and growth into Europe with that. But well, one success story is not enough. If you make the basket, if you make the point, great. but you don't win the game if you do only one basket. You need to win, and you will win by repeating it, point by point, throw by throw, in a way, again and again. So it's about scaling. And this is what we need to scale. Technology, policy, markets. Technology, as already mentioned before, it is there, we have it, we prove it with Leuna, other companies also prove it. Policy, well, this is where we need to create the right frameworks. I just had a discussion outside with Sophia from Biochem Europe, by the way, a great association, in general about Biotech Act 2 and what needs to happen. And this is the moment where we really need to go into the policy framework and identify what is needed and how to deal with that. This is really the moment we have now. And it's not tomorrow or in 10 years, now or never, for scalability of biosolutions in Europe, for Europe, in a way. And then it's about markets. Markets will pull solutions through if the frameworks are there, if the incentives are there. We need to work on that. And with that, customer demand will grow. We will go down with the risks, and the investments will follow on that. And that's how we can turn capability really into scalability. So the rule is simple. We can scale what the system rewards. If not, then it's not working. And what we need for that, and this is what we are asking for really from a policy framework, from an industrial policy, it's about stimulate market demand for renewable solutions. Let's talk about quotas, let's talk about tax incentives, let's talk about public procurement work, let's talk about EPR fees and so on and so forth to really reward the system, to really stimulate market demand. We need to make sure that we have sustainable access to biomass, and we need to recognize that biorefineries are there and that those are strategic assets for Europe. So the fastest way to make it mainstream is to make it the default choice, not the niche. And this is what we are showing in Leuna again, same picture as before, lovely Leuna, from a first-of-a-kind plant to the industrial backbone for Europe. So it's about renewable chemicals as an industrial strategy to reduce fossil dependence, to cut emissions at the source, to create high-value jobs, to strengthen resilience, and to catalyze innovation. So this is about European competitiveness. And we need to make it now, as said. Time is ticking. So this is Europe's 3-point moment, and we need to use it. The solution is not new. The capability is already here. What matters now is, do we scale it or not? Because the winners are not those with the best ideas, but those who take the shot and keep taking it at scale again and again. By the way, this is the team who changed the game significantly, Golden State Warriors. Thank you very much.